Welcome back to part 2 of this mini series where I'm talking exactly how you can build an aesthetic body in 2023. If you want to, I would recommend you go back and watch part 1 of this series where I talked about the workout, the diet, and extra tips on how you can stay motivated, all of that stuff. I pretty much gave you an overview of how you can do it, but in this series I'm going to go a lot deeper into each section of that video. So if you want to get a nice overview of how this video and this series is going to be structured, go back and watch that. I'll link that up there. But in today's video, we're going to be talking all about the workout and its structure. So pretty much in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips when it comes to working out in the gym. Number 1 is focus on compound exercises. So for those who don't know, a compound exercise is an exercise that you perform in the gym, lifting a weight that requires you to use more than one muscle group. So some perfect examples of what a compound exercise is will be a squat, a deadlift, and a bench press. All of these movements require more than one muscle group to perform the exercise. And the other type of exercise that there is an isolation exercise, which is where you only use one muscle group and you specifically target that muscle group when you do that exercise, like a bicep curl. The reason compound exercises are superior to isolation exercises is because they recruit a larger amount of muscles, therefore giving you the most bang for your buck, and you are actually able to load the weight up a lot more than you were if you used to just do an isolation exercise. So these are actually going to help you build the most muscle, or if you're trying to lose weight, they're also going to help you lose weight a lot faster because they're burning more calories because you're using more muscles and therefore using more energy to actually perform the movement. So you're going to be working a lot harder when you perform compound exercises, which will also require you to have more rest in between sets. Probably around 3 to 4 minutes in between sets for every compound exercise that you do will be enough. No longer than 5 minutes, but no less than 2 minutes for sure. Tip number 2 is to start before you are ready. You need to overcome your insecurities and the judgment of others around you, because you actually need to start before you can actually make any progress. When I started going to the gym, I was nervous too about how others would judge me, what others would think, especially when you're a beginner, you're not that good and you're not that knowledgeable about how to go about working out. But as you go along, everyone has to start somewhere. So as you go along, you're going to develop knowledge, you're going to develop the skill set that you need to actually work out properly, and it's all going to come together. But you do need to start to actually make progress in the first place. The other good thing about joining the gym is that the community built around it is super supportive, because it's pretty much all people trying to improve themselves in one place. So don't worry about what others are going to think or what you think others are going to think. Just go ahead and start, give it a try and see how you go, and I promise you're not going to regret it. Number 3 is to not go to the gym half-hearted. You need to be training every single time you go to the gym close to failure, probably around 1 to 2 reps before failure. And this is because you need to be giving your muscles enough stimulus to actually grow. They actually have to make the change in your body to grow and become bigger, which I presume is your main goal if you're watching this video. If you aren't going close to failure, you're not giving your muscles enough stimulus to grow because they're not needing to grow. When you lift heavy weights, your muscles need to actually grow to be able to lift that weight and become stronger. But when you're not lifting enough heavy weights, or you're not doing the amount of reps that you need to do, then you're not giving the muscles the right stimulus in order for them to grow. And just think about it, when you're working out, it is hard work because your muscles don't really want to grow. Like, your body doesn't want to change in the first place. You have to give it a reason why it has to change, and that is by lifting heavier weights and pushing close to failure. So just going through the motions and just cruising through your workouts is not the way to go, especially after a month of training. The only time I would recommend not pushing yourself super hard is probably around your first month of going to the gym. And this is because before you go close to failure, you have to get your form right in order for you to not do any serious injury in the gym. So that first month that you join up for the gym, I would recommend that you actually just go for the first month, lift a little bit lighter weights and go a little bit less than what you could actually do, and just perfect your form. After that month is up, you can start loading the weight back on the bar and then training with intensity and purpose, and start pushing yourself really close to failure to give your muscles that stimulus so they can grow. Number 4 is implementing progressive overload. This is the absolute number 1 rule when you're going to the gym that you need to follow to make progress. You always have to be aware of how much weight you're putting on the bar. Track your progress, especially. That's really important to do when you're tracking how much weight you're putting on the bar. And every time you go to the gym, I want you to test the waters with the next level up. I want you to maybe perform a couple reps with that next level, with that next weight. And then if it's too hard, you can go back down. But at least you're trying and you're giving your body enough stimulus to grow. There are many forms of progressive overload, like changing the exercise, adding more sets or reps on, or the main one, adding more weight onto the bar. I have explained this many times before, but pretty much what progressive overload is when you lift a certain amount of weight one time, and then the next time you go and do the exercise, you gradually up the weight. And what this does is it ensures your muscles are getting that right stimulus to grow each and every time, so you don't stagnate your progress. For example, in week 1, you might do a 5 kilo bicep curl. Then the next time you go to the gym, you might do a couple reps with a 6 kilo bicep curl, and then complete the rest of the set with a 5 kilo. And this is ensuring that you're actually making progress towards your goals, and you're adding on weight every single time you go to the gym. Also, make sure to keep in mind that you will progress at different rates for different exercises, and also depending on which ones you prioritize. Tip number 5 is to not waste your time in the gym on your phone. If there's one thing that's going to distract you when you go into the gym, it's your phone. So just put on your favorite music, put in some earbuds, and then just leave it alone for the rest of the workout. Or you can carry it around you and just check it a couple seconds in between sets if you really need to. But you shouldn't be doing anything major on your phone when you're going to the gym. The reason you go to the gym is to actually work out and lift the weights. You're not there to scroll on TikTok or Instagram. So complete your set, have your rest, and maybe check your phone if you really need to. Then make sure you go back to your set, not 10 minutes after the last set. Make sure you're having around 2 to 3 minutes of rest for isolation exercises and 3 to 5 minutes for compound exercises. But do not get distracted by your phone, and ensure that you're keeping an eye on how much time you're resting in between sets. This was the second video in the full guide to building an aesthetic body in 2023, so stay tuned for part 3, because that will be coming out soon, and that's going to be based all upon your diet, which in regards is probably the most important part when it comes to this matter. So go down, hit the subscribe button, and turn your notifications on so that you can get there early and don't get left behind in 2023.